To know who to trust. Seems like around every corner there's another hoaxster, jokester, or cloak-ster. In the end, one thing I've learned is the only person you can trust is yourself. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself with Word Hoax, the game of verbal cloaks, jokes, and master strokes. It'll make you lie to your mama, but don't worry, she's probably not playing this round. Here's your host, Tom Sherman. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Announcer. Thank you to the internet at large for tuning in to the live stream of Word Hoax Live. And of course, many thanks to our stable of Word Hoax contestants waiting backstage. I'm your host, Tom Sherman, and it is Wednesday night here in Milford, Delaware, and that means two things. First of all, it's trash night, and second of all, it's time to give up some NFTs to, I don't know, what does that say? Oh, NFTs are up for grabs to play Word Hoax. Geez, can't read my own writing, but that doesn't really matter because no one's watching yet. So as our players start filtering in, let's remind all the folks out there what everyone's playing for this evening, besides, of course, fame and glory. And that's one of these, an iouNFT. This exclusive 1 out of 10,000 NFT is a unique 1 out of 10,000 piece. That's actually an IOU for a future NFT from an upcoming drop from Story Squad. The current estimated cash value of that IOU NFT is $100 US, and we can't show the public, but let me tell you, the NFTs you're competing for are pretty good looking. I don't know. That's all I got to say right there. We're going to be able to show people very soon. Our tech team is hard at work. The devs minting these things, getting them into reality, and they'll be out in the public sphere sooner than later. Anyways, here's the ground rules how to play Word Hoax. I'm going to read a word, person's name, or movie title, and then you will have a set time limit to submit a definition that's plausible enough that other players might guess that definition. No Googling is allowed, and let's try to keep it PG-13 because we are a family show here, folks. Once time expires, we will read the set of fake definitions along with the real one as well, and then guess around the room. You get points if you select the correct definition, as well as if other players pick your fake definition. You can pick your own answer in an attempt to sway the opinion of other players. However, you will not receive a point for your own vote. So in round one, we will define a word. In round two, we will write out the biography of a person. And then in round three, we will write out the plot of a movie title. After that, we'll crown the champion of the day. And that's about it. Give away an NFT. So let's just start introducing the players and get this underway. So let's see. First to grace the stage tonight here, Tasha. Welcome back. How are we feeling?
Feeling good, though. Turns out I missed trash day. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. That's unfortunate that you missed trash day, though. That's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that one too many times. Let's see if our next contestant has missed trash day. Kit's BFF, welcome to the stage. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. So tomorrow's our trash day, but we put the cans out tonight. Is that what you mean?
Yes, that is what I mean. Exactly. Because it's like tonight's the night where we gather all the trash, we put it in the bin, we take it to the curb.
Yeah, no,
and
same here.
If it's tomorrow morning, it's too late. It's too late. All right. Let's see. When is your trash day, Baggins?
Every day is trash day, man.
Wow, that is
a lot of trash. A lot of trash piles up in the cobwebs as it gets onto the page, crumpled up, thrown in the canister.
Oh, interesting. It's more of a metaphorical trash day then.
Yeah, but it is a trash day, and it's really hard with all the snow and
That sure is. Also joining us tonight is Alphabot, our AI word hoax extraordinaire. A series of, I don't know, algorithms and such. So not represented on screen, but trust me, it's out there, and it's here. I can show you that. Boom, Alphabot right there on the scoreboard, ready, waiting for some word hoax action. So let me see. I'm going to drop the link here in the private chat for all y'all to log into. And that's it. We have a scant amount of players tonight, but that just means it's that much easier for you all to win an NFT. So let's get this show on the road. Let me see here. Our word. I'm going to select a word for everybody. It's I don't know how to pronounce it. Pogo no to me. Pogo no to me is the word. I'm putting 60 seconds on the clock. And let's see. I'll actually bump it up to 63 seconds just for all the trash out there in the world. And I'm going to hit start right now. Oh, look at this. Hold on. But wait, there's more. Harrison coming in hot. What's happening?
What it do?
What it do? Paul Wall. I'm the people's champ. I believe Paul Wall said that. So awesome. Good to see you here, Harrison. I see you in the lobby, in the waiting room, so we can just get this show on the road regardless. Pogo no to me is the word. Pogo no to me. And we're going to start this session right now. So you got 60 seconds on the clock here to figure out whatever that word means. Think of NFTs like keys to the future. Right now, as humans, we interact with businesses and organizations much like ants might their queen, slaving away day in and day out for resources to give to the queen so that she may survive. NFTs turn this one-directional relationship into a community partnership. Owning NFTs of organizations will allow those owners special perks like early access to future products, exclusive content behind paywalls, and access to the inner community. Not only that, but NFTs are transferable, allowing owners to sell at a premium, which in turn appreciate all other NFTs held by community members. So NFTs are part art, part online identity, part admission to a virtual country club, part crypto speculation, part generational wealth, and all real, baby. All right, 5 seconds left here. Let's see, I added an extra 20 just to be nice, and it looks like Harrison took advantage of it. Baggins also getting in there. Let's read these definitions. So also an added twist, I'm giving away bonus points tonight if you select Alphabot's answer. That's right. If you guess what the AI algorithm output, then you'll get a bonus point each round. So keep that in mind as we read these definitions here. So pogo no to me is the word. Here are your definitions. Number 1, the study of the shape of plants. Number 2, the cutting of beards, shaving. Number 3, the act of dressing up as an ugly old man to get free rides on public transport. Number 4, the science and study of underwater islands often found near continental fault lines. Number 5, a set of rules governing relationships. This particular set of rules allows gas-powered pogo sticks. Referring to a reptile's ability to camouflage their skin to blend into surrounding environments. So there are your options there for pogonotomy. I'll read them one more time here. Number 1, the study of the shape of plants. Number 2, the cutting of beards, shaving. Number 3, the act of dressing up as an ugly old man to get free rides on public transport. Number 4, the science and study of underwater islands often found near continental fault lines. Number 5, a set of rules governing relationships. This particular set of rules allows gas-powered pogo sticks. And number 6, referring to a reptile's ability to camouflage their skin to blend into surrounding environments. So a lot of interesting definitions here. One of them is right. The rest of them are wrong. So let's see what you all think about that and start the voting. Let's see. The computer has selected Alphabot to go first. So let's see what Alphabot is going to put in here for Pogo No to Me. See here. Sorry, got to click all the right buttons and see what exactly the output is. And Alphabot is saying, I'm going to go with a set of rules governing relationships. This particular set of rules allows gas-powered pogo sticks because it sounds cool, and that is what the rules are, a set of rules governing relationships. So I guess you can't really argue with that logic. Going with gas-powered pogo sticks because rules are cool. Remember that. Tasha, you're now up on the docket. What are you thinking here about all these definitions?
I'm wondering if Alphabot may be actually embodied as a gas-powered pogo stick, and that's why they like that rule.
You're saying Alphabot is a gas-powered pogo stick?
I mean, maybe that's why they would like the rule, right?
Sure, why not?
I've seen the tear sheet. The one with the Viking helmet does have a pogo stick.
Ah,
Insider knowledge here about what Alphabot could be looking like. So what are you thinking about the real definition? And are you saying that you think Alphabot guessed for its own selection there? Is that what you're saying?
it doesn't actually sound like Alphabot to me. I'm gonna go with number 4 for the bot, and number 6 being the real answer.
All right, so you're saying the robot said the science and study of underwater islands often found near continental fault lines. And then you're going to select referring to a reptile's ability to camouflage their skin to blend in the surrounding environments as the real definition. Any particular reason why you think that's the real definition?
No,
No reasoning.
no reason.
Fair enough. Why not? Baggins, you're up now. What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking the real answer is the underwater islands.
You think that's the real answer? The science and study of underwater islands often found near continental fault lines. Any reasoning on that one?
Just gut. I don't know.
Okay.
Stop asking me these questions. I'm not GPT-3. Just can't automate a response. Banter is hard for me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit that pressure point. Any guess on what the?
So I want Alphabot, Tom, so I can outsource the banter function.
That's tough. That is tough.
I mostly want to make shrieking noises. Alphabot, let's say 2.
You think Alphabot said the cutting of beards or shaving? Interesting. All right, fair enough. Kit's BFF. Where are you falling in all of this?
I'm going to take the beards and shaving
as the correct answer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Any particular reason why?
I was between that one and the underwater islands.
Mm-hmm.
And Baggins's backing of islands was not very inspiring. So
that's fair. It's always a good move to run as far away from Baggins as possible. That is a fact.
He's the reigning champ, right? I should have run toward him, but
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Baggins did win last time, but still a good strategy.
Pure luck. It was pure luck. Run far away. If I could run away from my own answers too, I would.
As you can tell, shrieking and banter are his fortes. What do you think? What do you think Alphabot wrote there?
The second to last one, the one about the gas-powered pogo sticks. Definitely
interesting. Gas-powered pogo sticks is the guess there. And last but not least, Harrison. Here we are. What's running through your brain right now?
Couple things. I'm trying to figure out. If somebody guesses my guess, but they think it's the robot, do I get a point for that too?
Not currently, but we should figure that out. We should work that into the back end.
Because it's like, wow, I should still get a point if you think I'm literally a robot.
Right? Yeah, robot
generating. Point. Anyway, so I think. Oh wow.
Dead air is great for live
I know.
streams.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think we'll go with a. I think we're gonna go with the old study of chameleons changing colors or something.
you think that's the real answer? Referring to a reptile's ability to camouflage their skin to blend
Oh,
into
I don't
surrounding
know.
environments.
No.
That's not what you're. That's not what you're going. Interesting.
That's what I think.
Oh, you think that's the robot?
I think that's robot, and then I think the answer is what was the second last one?
The gas-powered pogo stick.
Okay, not that.
You don't think that's the real answer?
No.
It seems like Merriam-Webster would know.
So
What
okay,
you
there was
got?
three legitimate answers, right? So the one that I just said was lizard, reptiles, colors,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and then I had. Is anybody else guessing? Am I the last?
No,
guess?
you're the last guess, so you
Yeah,
can expose
and then I wrote.
yourself.
So then I did the fault lines. Got Baggins again. I've been dormant for months, and they got Baggins again, which is fantastic.
It was
and
so
then
good.
It's
Like
so
I want to
good.
say, like I was
So
pretty
classic.
confident that was the right answer.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And then there's another one, and then there's beards.
There's beards, and then I think let me see. Active dressing up as an ugly old man to get free rides on public transport. And the study of the shape of plants.
Oh, interesting. Shape of plants. I'll go with shape of plants. I like that one.
As the real one. That's what you think
Yeah.
the real one.
Yeah.
All right. Study of the shape of plants. All right, we've got our guesses in, and look at that. Everybody's guessed for something different. All across the board here. So let's go. Honorable mentions to Alphabot writing the act of dressing up as an ugly old man to get free rides on public transport, which no one thought Alphabot could have come up with.
Not a great robot there.
And let's see. Baggins writing, referring to the reptile's ability to camouflage their skin to blend into the surrounding environments, which got Tasha's vote. Harrison flirted with it a bit and then got a little antsy and decided to go elsewhere. Harrison, we know, wrote about the fault lines, which got Baggins' vote. And then Tasha wrote a set of rules governing relationships. This particular set of rules allows gas-powered pogo sticks, which got Alphabot's vote. And then Kit's BFF writing the study of the shape of plants, which got Harrison in the end. And the real definition, which Kit's BFF voted for, the cutting of beards or shaving. So starting off to a fast start here, Kit's BFF with a 2 points. Yeah, let me see. Let's throw up the scoreboard on here. See if we got a. So here we are. 2 points for Kit's BFF, 1 point for Tasha, 1 point for Baggins, 1 point for Harrison. Alphabot still trying to get on the board. But unfortunately, or actually fortunately, we've got a couple more rounds. So let's see
Does
where
that
that takes
scoreboard
us.
include the Alphabot guesses?
Well, none of you guessed it. So
But
it
would
doesn't.
that scoreboard have included it, or would that have been?
It would not have included it.
Okay.
But again, that's a moot point because all of you thought your human definitions were actually written by robots, which
Kind of how I am on social media.
yeah, that's about right. All right, let's keep this moving to round 2. Playing another round here, and this is the biography round. So we're going to be defining a biography, and let me grab this person. Seems good. So let's plop them in here. Boom, boom. And the person's name, well, here, let me first put, going to put 89 seconds on the clock. And the person's name is Bob Golub. Bob Golub is the person's name. You've got 89 seconds to write their biography starting now. Who was Bob Golub? Only time will tell. Look, I know what you're thinking. How do I play this game? Get in on these NFTs. Quit my corporate job. Well, let me tell you, it's easy. We run 2 competitions daily. Word Hoax, which you're currently watching, and Clash of the Pencils, a 1-page story contest where the internet public picks the winner each night. Both are a quick creative workout to get your mind right during the day, not to mention the fame, glory, and NFTs. If you're interested in playing either of these games, reach out to me, Tom Sherman, in one of the following ways. On social media, send me a DM in Twitter at ShermQ5 or at Story Squad HQ. Give us both a follow while you're there. If you're watching on the Facebook stream, send me a message. Other contact methods include any other way you can think of reaching me, up to but not exclusively playing 6 Degrees of Tom Sherman, smoke signals, and of course, skywriting. All right, added 20 seconds for all the slow pokes out there. Kit's BFF and Alphabot were the only 2 in on time. Baggins now in. We're waiting on Tasha and Harrison. 10 seconds left in the grace period. Tasha in, Harrison in. Let's start reading these definitions and see what we have. All right, so Bob Golub. Bob Golub. Here are your definitions. Number 1, the inventor of the bobbing for apples game. Number 2, born Robert Stacy Golub, Bob became the first writer to win the Pulitzer for war journalism in the year 1923 for his work on World War I. His work was turned into the movie War Horse. Number 3, earns a living selling lucky potatoes on the streets of New York City. Number 4, American restaurateur, founded 12 different restaurant franchises, including Jack in the Box and Fuddruckers. Number 5, this NBC television producer was credited with being the first to broadcast a professional boxing match in 1955. And number 6, a Turkish actor. So those are your options for Bob Golub. We'll read them again one more time. Bob Golub, was he? Number 1, the inventor of the bobbing for apples game. Number 2, born Robert Stacy Golub, Bob became the first writer to win the Pulitzer for war journalism in the year 1923 for his work on World War I. His work was turned into the movie War Horse. Number 3, earns a living selling lucky potatoes on the streets of New York City. Number 4, an American restaurateur, founded 12 different restaurant franchises, including the Jack in the Box and Fuddruckers. Number 5, this NBC television producer was credited with being the first to broadcast a professional boxing match in 1955. And number 6, a Turkish actor. So those are your options there for Bob Golub. And we will enter the guessing phase right now. Let's see. Kit's BFF, you are currently the leaderboard. So that means you get to kick off the round of guessing here. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I hope it's a Turkish actor, but I'm going to answer the War Horse guy.
Interesting. Going with the War Horse guy, Robert Stacy Golub, the first writer to win a Pulitzer for journalism in the year 1923, and his work inspiring War Horse. Fair enough. Any guesses for the for which one was written by Alphabot?
Yeah, it was the one where it was like he sells fake or magical potatoes or whatever.
Are you insinuating that lucky potatoes are fake? Because that's fair enough. All right. Let's see. Let's go to Baggins. You're now up here.
Ooh, I was not ready for this.
Well, better get ready.
I'm gonna guess 4 as the real one.
Guessing 4 as the real one. Let me see. That is an American restaurateur founded 12 different restaurant franchises, including Jack in the Box and Fuddruckers. Interesting. Any particular reasoning why there?
Well, as I said it, and I'm like, oh, Harrison could have written that one too. I wish he had his camera on so I could see his face. No
All right,
reason.
fair enough.
That sounds, I mean, like the reason is always it sounds the most plausible to me. I'm gonna guess 2 is Alphabot.
Guessing 2, born Robert Stacy Golub, Bob became the first writer to win the Pulitzer for war journalism. All right, interesting options there. Tasha, you're up here. What's happening? Tasha,
Number one for the bot, and then number 3 for the real answer.
You think the bot wrote the inventor of the bobbing for apples game, and you think the real one is earns a living selling lucky potatoes on the streets of New York City. Interesting.
I'm sorry, reverse those. Actually.
Oh, reverse those. Okay, fair enough. So the inventor of the bobbing for apples game, and then you think Alphabot wrote earns a living on the street of New York City selling lucky potatoes.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right, Harrison, you're up here again. What's happening? Hello? Are you there? Is this thing on?
Sorry. What was number 5?
Number 5 is this NBC television producer was credited with being the first to broadcast a professional boxing match in 1955.
I really like that one. And what was number 3?
Number 3 was earns a living selling lucky potatoes on the streets of New York City.
In 6.
Number 6 is, let's see here, a Turkish actor.
What was number 1?
The inventor of the bobbing for apples game.
I'm going to go with Turkish actor.
Going with a Turkish actor. Interesting. And then what do you think Alphabot wrote here?
Bobbing for apples.
You think Alphabot wrote bobbing for apples. Interesting. Any particular reason why on either of those guesses? You can say no. That's totally fine. That's all right. And then now, last but not least, it is Alphabot's turn to guess. And Alphabot is saying, I'm going to go with born Robert Stacy Golub. Bob became the first writer to win the Pulitzer because his career started with a restaurant and ended with a horse. All right. That's interesting.
I can tell that was a bot, not a human. That makes no sense, Tom.
That made no sense. Unless maybe, the first piece Robert Stacy Golub wrote was about a restaurant and then it ends with Warhorse. Maybe we can string it all together. I'm not quite sure. But let's submit the guesses and see what we can see. Honorable mention going to Baggins with this NBC television producer was credited with being the first to broadcast a professional boxing match in 1955, getting no votes. Meanwhile, Tasha wrote a Turkish actor, which got Harrison's vote. Kit's BFF writing an American restaurateur founded 12 different restaurant franchises, including Jack in the Box and Fuddruckers, getting Baggins.
I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Damn.
Seems
12 in hindsight, 12 restaurants.
That's a lot of restaurants. That's a lot of franchises to keep track of. That's for sure. Alphabot wrote the inventor of the bobbing for apples game, which Tasha voted for and Harrison sniffed out as the correct one, or as the incorrect one. I don't know how to put that. So interesting stuff there. Meanwhile, Harrison also adding there to that lead with born Robert Stacy Golub. Bob became the first writer to win a Pulitzer for war journalism in the year 1923 for his work on World War I. His work turned into the movie War Horse, which Alphabot and Kit's BFF both voted for.
Almost had
Meanwhile-
Baggins there too.
You could have had a lot of points there. That was big. Meanwhile, the real definition of Bob Golub earns a living selling Lucky Potatoes on the streets of New York City. You can't make that stuff up, folks. He has a Lucky Potato business. Let's see if I can pull him up. And so basically, long story short, is he was a stand-up comedian, and then he went broke, and so he started selling Lucky Potatoes, telling people that his grandma in Poland grew them, and some guy won the lottery, so bought him a suit. And then he goes around in a suit selling Lucky Potatoes. Ended up parlaying that into a role on Goodfellas. So there you have it. Don't follow your dreams, all right, kids, because it just might work out. That's all we got to say about that one there. All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard and see who's where and what and why. So Kit's BFF now on top with 3 points. Technically, Harrison in first place with 4 points for sniffing out the incorrect definition given by Alphabot. So Harrison in first with 4 points. Kit's BFF in second with 3. Tasha with 2. Alphabot with 1. Baggins with 1. We've got ourselves a ball game here, folks, going into the final round of the movie, defining the movies. So I hope you brought your hats, your thinking hats, and are strapping them on as tight as possible as we get into this last round. And let's see, here's the movie that we're going to pick. It's going to be this one. Why not? And I'm going to put 120 seconds on the clock. This is one of the hardest rounds to do, so they tell me. So you get the most time to come up with a plot. And the plot here, or the movie here, is Harry's War. Harry's War is the movie title. Write out that plot starting now. What is Harry's War all about? I don't know what to say, really. When you get old in life, you find out life is this game of words. I mean, the difference between winning and losing here is so small. You know, one adjective too late or too early, you don't quite describe it. One plot line too slow, too fast, you don't hook your readers. The words we need are everywhere around us. They're in every story, every setting, every sentence. On this app, we fight for each word. On this app, we tear our rough drafts to pieces for that word. We claw with our fingernails for that word. Because we know when we add up all those words, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. And that's what living is. The 6 words in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You got to look into the mirror. Look into your eyes. And I think you're going to see an author willing to go get that word with you. That's Clash of the Pencils, folks. That's all it is. All right, here we go. Coming down into the final stretch here. 30 seconds left on the clock. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? We've got Tasha in. Kit's BFF in. Alphabot is not in. Baggins is not in. Harrison is not in. So, here we go. Alphabot has now submitted an answer. It's down to Baggins and Harrison. With 5 seconds left, will they make the cutoff? Wow. Harrison in. Baggins, unable to make it.
I thought it picked it up automatically. Like I can press enter. It's ready to go.
Yeah, you can press enter. I don't think those changes have been pushed to the whatever production site. So cannot rely on technology to save you right now. But here's what we can do. We can read through these guesses or definitions of Harry's War. Number 1, a man fights to preserve a grove of 500-year-old trees. Number 2, after his aunt dies of a heart attack during an IRS audit, Harry Johnson declares war on the IRS. Number 3, in the midst of World War II, an American soldier serves as an interpreter for a French lieutenant who found himself in a hornet's nest. Number 4, one man's self-documented campaign to take down big plastic by schlepping his non-biodegradable refuse into a giant transparent trash bag bubble and trying to live his life normally over the course of a year.
Schlepping. That's interesting. Using a little Yiddish in the old
Little, right?
old movie synopsis.
Interesting key there. Number 5, the unreleased third movie in the Harry and the Hendersons franchise. And number 6, taking over at FDR's death, this 1979 political drama covers the decisions leading up to the dropping of the atomic bombs over Japan in 1945. Originally panned as propaganda, the movie later received some cult following for its nuclear science. All right, those are your options for Harry's War. Number 1, yeah, a lot of good ones here, huh?
A lot of good ones. I have no idea.
Number 1, a man fights to preserve a grove of 500-year-old trees. Number 2, after his aunt dies of a heart attack during an IRS audit, Harry Johnson declares war on the IRS. Number 3, in the midst of World War II, an American soldier serves as an interpreter for a French lieutenant who has found himself in a hornet's nest. Number 4, one man's self-documented campaign to take down big plastic by schlepping his non-biodegradable refuse into a giant transparent trash bag bubble and trying to live his life normally over the course of a year. Number 5, the unreleased third movie in the Harry and the Hendersons franchise. And number 6, taking over at FDR's death, this 1979 political drama covers the decisions leading up to the dropping of the atomic bombs over Japan in 1945. Originally panned as propaganda, the movie later received some cult following for its nuclear science. So those are your options there for Harry's War. Let's see. Let's start the guesses. And Harrison, you in a strong round 2, you've now overtaken the lead, and so you get the honors here to go first. What is going through your brain right now?
Yeah, this is tough. There's a couple I like. I like the war on the IRS. I like Harry and the Hendersons because it's time. There's a lot of 80s movies in here usually. And then I really like the Truman thing. That makes sense. Harry's War.
Harry Truman, right? Interesting.
I like Harry Truman. Let's do Harry Truman.
Interesting. All right, going with Harry Truman. Let's see. That was number 6. And which one do you think Alphabot wrote?
I don't know. Do I have to choose?
No, you don't. You can punt.
Okay.
Punting on that one.
No, I'll go with number 2.
Number 2. Let me see. The after his aunt dies of a heart attack during an IRS audit, Harry Johnson declares war on the IRS. Fair enough. Kit's BFF, coming to you now. What do you think is going on here? Which movie are you going to watch on movie night? And is that your guess?
I'm going to guess the one where the guy's schlepping garbage around, and that would not be my choice for movie night.
that would not. Interesting.
There's a lot of good ones in here. I really like the Truman one. I just don't think you would have picked it, or I don't know who picks these, but I don't know. I'll say Alphabot wrote the one about Harry Johnson.
Interesting. After his aunt dies of a heart attack, the IRS, war on the IRS. Fair enough. Let's see here. Going to Tasha. Tasha, what's happening here?
All right, so I've got IRS needs to be the bot. That's probably what's going on there. And then the real definition is the war propaganda.
War propaganda. Number 6, taking over to FDR's death, this political drama, et cetera, et cetera. War propaganda, but then got some cult following for its nuclear science, and also picking the IRS one as the bot. Third person to pick the IRS one as the bot. Interesting. Maybe that's because the IRS is a bit robotic. Speaking of robotic, Baggins, word has it, people have accused you of being a robot. So what do you think here?
That's what the shrieking and banter is for.
Right.
Let's
Right.
get past that Turing test, Alphabot.
No.
I agree with everyone. I think the IRS being repeated seems like a bot thing. I think any human would have said goes to war with the Internal Revenue Service or just varying it up. So I'll pick that as the bot. Whoever wrote the Truman one deserves it. That the cult following for the nuclear secrets, that's exquisite. That last sentence got me.
So that's what you're going with. Number 6, taking over at FDR's death.
I can't catch him now, but
1979.
I'm playing the round. I'm not playing the scoreboard.
You're playing the round. Interesting. Well, let's submit the guesses and see what happens.
Did Alphabot guess?
Oh shit! I mean, shoot.
It's a
Alphabot
family show.
This is a family show, guys. Come on.
Show.
What are we doing? Alphabot says, I'm going to go with the unreleased third movie in the Harry and the Hendersons franchise because this is just too much to pass up. So
I like that one too.
Going with the Harry and the Hendersons franchise there. So let's see. Honorable mentions going to Alphabot with, in the midst of World War II, an American soldier serves as an interpreter for a French lieutenant who has found himself in a hornet's nest.
That one's excellent, by the way.
That's a great definition. And yeah, I'm sure if the robot had feelings, it would be kind of offended.
All of us voted for a human as a robot.
Yeah, it's interesting. Meanwhile, Kit's BFF also getting an honorable mention with a man fights to preserve a grove of 500-year-old trees. I would watch that movie. And let's see who got some votes. Tasha did with the unreleased third movie of Harry and the Hendersons franchise, getting Alphabot's vote. Baggins also getting a vote from Kit's BFF. One man's self-documented campaign to take down big plastic by schlepping his non-biodegradable refuse into a giant transparent trash bag bubble and trying to live his life normally over the course of a year, which Kit's BFF said they would not watch on movie night, which I strongly recommend not doing. Harrison also getting some votes here. Taking over at FDR's death, this 1979 political drama covers the decisions leading up to dropping the atomic bombs over Japan in 1945. Originally panned as propaganda, the movie later received some cult following for its nuclear. Yeah, as you can tell, getting Baggins' vote, as well as Tasha and Harrison playing coy by picking his own to start off the round.
He always does that when he's in the lead at the last round. Classic.
Well, if it's that obvious, why did you vote for it?
Yeah, listen, I had to get back to the bread and butter. It's been a while. I just wanted to see if I could. Harry's War was just too
fool
good.
Me once. Fool me 5 or 6 times.
The real definition of Harry's War, everyone thought was actually a robot. After his aunt dies of a heart attack during an IRS audit, Harry Johnson declares war on the IRS. So let's take a look.
The Internal Revenue Service made an error on the taxes of Harry Johnson.
It's just a misunderstanding. All we'll do is we'll just talk to them.
You have to pay your taxes, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, by the way, Johnson, you're trespassing here.
This is my property.
You call this justice?
Hitler would have loved the IRS.
See the movie for battle-weary taxpayers. Harry's War, rated PG. Now showing at a
Rated PG?
Don't miss.
It looks like he's
The first
literally
part of
like
that-
attacking
the first
the
part of that is
IRS.
the most unwatchable thing I've ever seen in my life. And then the tank comes, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It really ratchets up at some
Yeah.
point.
He
Yeah.
literally calls
That
IRS
transition.
Nazis, and then he has a tank. You're just like,
Yes.
whoa. Okay.
That
PG though.
accelerated.
This is totally PG.
Well, that's the 80s. Yeah, that's before they really got deep into the rating system. That's But yeah, that's it. That was the real deal there. So let's take a look at the scoreboard. See what happens here when I click
The
reveal.
Hornet. Can we go back to Alphabot? That Hornet's Nest symbol, like idiomatic usage, was really cool.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
I'm really into the fact that a bot can come up with that. Like the interpreter gets into a hornet's nest. Like that's wildly great.
well, do you think it was a metaphor, or do you think that the
a
interpreter got
literal
stuck in
yeah,
a literal hornet's nest
In the
and they had
bot's
to?
mind, it's like in an insect hive colony with these trying to
Right.
interpret its way out. That would be an interesting science fiction twist.
It's possible.
But yeah.
Especially if the swelling around his face makes it even harder to understand him. And
Yeah.
interpret
Yeah,
it.
like he's like really needs that translator.
Yeah.
That would definitely put it in. So yeah, I don't know. I would watch that movie. We could produce it. But let's see. It looks like my computer has malfunctioned and kicked me out of the game, so I can't hit refresh for the final scoreboard. But according to my tally here, Harrison ran away with it, especially getting those 2 points in the last round. Kit's BFF was in second, and unfortunately not getting the votes or getting the right answer to come over the line there. So congratulations here to Harrison on top. Let's take us through this game. I mean, you started slow, and then you kind of found your groove here in the second and third rounds. How did you come up with the movie title of Harry's War?
Just I listen to a lot of audiobooks, history audiobooks, so and they all have like sort of like titles like that because that's like the only not boring thing about them. So but for the most part, yeah, I've just been I haven't played Word Hoax in a while, so I wanted to come back strong. And honestly, wasn't feeling that fresh today. Had COVID a second time like 2 weeks ago, or a week ago or so. A little bit of brain fog. But I feel good coming back like that. Took some nootropics today. I've been fasting. I'm back in the game.
I don't want to be accused of spreading misinformation about COVID, but a good game of Word Hoax can clear it right up. That's
Alpha brand. Alpha brain.
This is what I'm sponsored by.
Wow.
Alpha Brain. Wait, is that how you got into the mind of Alphabot in round 2 and correctly selected its?
I mean, yeah.
Wow.
I literally eat Alphabot's brain.
Jeez, I didn't even know that was on the market yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Instead of doing swag with like coffee cups and like tote bags, we need to be selling Alphabot neurotropics.
Alphabot nootropic pills. Yeah, I would buy that, I guess. And like Centrum Silver, right?
Yeah. It's just some B's and some C's.
Oh man, Kit's BFF, tough break for you here. You were in the running early, and then had a chance to win it here at the end. Unfortunately, the final definition of a man fighting to save that grove of 500-year-old trees, just not doing it for the players tonight. If you had it back, would you try to come up with a second definition for that movie title?
No, I think my definition was fine. I think what screwed me is then Baggins had like an environmental theme. So I'm mad I didn't pick the IRS one, because these movies are always like the stupidest but like most straightforward related to the title. So I'm bummed that I thought Alphabot wrote it when I should have thought that it was the actual writing.
Did we all vote for Alphabot for writing that one?
You did. Yes, that is correct.
I also, I mean, he won, so I guess I can't complain. I don't get Harrison's strategy of picking his own title when he's ahead at the end, because it seems like everyone chasing him needs to pick something different from him to make up ground anyway. So I guess everyone followed him, so it didn't matter. But
yeah.
I think here's my interpretation of the strategy, because I think I might have overthought it when I was blurring that out. But by voting for his own, he reduces the risk of giving somebody else the point that would be like to so he's like kind of like he's doing
hedging his bet.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, he doesn't give anybody else a point. Best case scenario, everyone's like, oh yeah, someone else has already picked it.
I do get that. Yeah, that's a good point.
And then there's a subtle like confirmation that people will just, even if they're like, oh, he's picking his own, they're still like, that it has to be good though. I can't write something trifling.
It was good and it went last, so it like captures it's like the last note that you kind of were like, and then the combination of that kind of like in the herd mentality all worked for us to just swarm it.
Well, it was really good. I just didn't think it was funny enough to end up in a word hoax game. But maybe
I like how you're playing the host, the picker, using that inside knowledge to pick the picker.
It's tough. I mean, there's a lot of facets going on in word hoax, and that's why it'll clear up a case of Omicron like that. Apparently, I don't know. According to Harrison, and
we're gonna get pulled off YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
This just cleared up a case of long COVID for me. I had it, and now it's gone.
Boom. Well, there you have it, folks. Thus ends another round, a rousing round of Word Hoax Live. Join us back here next Wednesday. And until then, follow us on Twitter. If you want to keep updated on the Alphabot situation, we'll be putting out some intriguing news over the next week or two. I'm sure of it. Or just, posting some crazy memes and that sort of thing. I don't know. So follow us at Story Squad HQ. My handle's at ShermQ5. And until then, we'll see you folks out on the paper. So I'm going to hit this and broadcast now.